Welcome back, everybody. Ruben with Texas All Water Fishing, and today I want to discuss and talk about 5 things you need to know about using soft plastic lures, especially for beginners such as myself. Although I fished with soft plastic for many years, it wasn't until recently when I got really serious and cut the umbilical cord on my bait bucket and started really going out and fishing with soft plastics. Number 1, the Jig Head. Very, very important piece of the puzzle. Simply because you've already convinced the fish to bite your lure. The last thing you need to do is lose them on an old or dull jig head. It never occurred to me that I could lose a fish because of the barb on the jig head being either old or worn down, which I found out the hard way. And when you're selecting your jig head and the weight, it all depends on your water depth or your technique. For a lot, it's a personal preference of the fish, not the angler. So obviously, if you're fishing in deeper water and you want a faster drop, you need a little heavier jig head. It's not always the case. The fish will determine your fishing pattern, your bite pattern, and the fall. Sometimes changing up your jig head and leaving the same color on will make all the world a difference. A couple of sizes that I like to fish with is the 1/4 ounce and the 1/8 ounce. I do a lot of shallow fishing, and to me these are the two go-to sizes that I like to use. Now it also depends too on the weather, on the wind. If you're casting into the wind, you're going to need a heavier jig head so you can get that extra distance of cast. But just keep in mind, it's going to change up the way you fish and retrieve your jig head. Now, like I said before, there's all different kinds of jig heads out there. The go-to color for me is red. Although I do own some white and some yellow, but the go-to color for me is always red. It symbolizes that little bit of redness that you get from a wounded fish where there's blood or a cut or something like that. So fish, to me, are more drawn to it. My more level of success has been red. Now, there's all different kind of brands out there. The H2O Express from Academy is a great brand. It's tried and true brand, as well as the jig heads. They cost about $2.79 for a pack of 5. I also like to use the H&H, also an inexpensive jig head to use. It's about $3.19 for a 10-pack. Now, stepping up the game a little bit, I also like to use the Z-Man. This Z-Man has a big eye and is great for those speckled trout. And these probably sell for about $5.50, $5.49 for a 3-pack. I also like this. I don't know if you can hear it. Can you hear it? This is a Texas Rattling jig head made by Texas Rattler. You can pick these up online through their website, or you can also pick them up at Academy, it's your local Academy store. They're about $5.50 for a 3-pack, but I like these a lot. Any little bit helps for me. And another jig head that I often use, and I've been using this for years, especially when you get around those rocky and shelly and oyster areas that I tend to fish, is the Bass Assassin swim hook. You know, this comes in a couple different sizes, couple different ounces, but you have this little screw on top. You simply just screw your jig head in there, find your placement for your hook, mark it with your finger, and then there you go. Or rather, there you go. Just keep in mind when you're using the swimming hook, when you set your hook, you really have to set it hard. Try not to rip it out of his mouth, but you really have to set that hook hard. I've had several fish come off from just not setting my hook hard enough. It just takes off running, and I go set my hook and try to turn them, and then they'll spit the hook, or the hook comes out. But that's number 1, jig heads. Number 2, probably some of the best advice anybody ever gave me was match the hatch. See what's in the water, take a look around, If there's a lot of shrimp in the water, then use and throw a lure that reflects the shrimp. Good shrimp lure to use is Gope. Gope makes a great product. I know a lot of people knock on Gope. I don't. I use Gope all the time. It's just great to have in your arsenal. They do make different colors of shrimp. You also have chicken boys. I use chicken boy lures a lot. I basically target a lot of flounder with these, but I also have caught some reds on these chicken boy lures. It can be simply the color of the bait fish or the fish in the water. What's running right now? Is there more mullets? Then use a swimming mullet. If it's crab, then you can use something that represents the color of a crab, maybe a blue, or you can even use something like a Bug's lure that they do have, those crab-like lures. My hands are stink. When we had a lot of shad hatching in the water, I was using some more of the dripping. I was using this like a little split tail, almost like a fluke, but I was using a lot more of these and having a lot of success with them. But yes, you definitely want to match the hat. It is tried and true, great technique to use, and it's really lure fishing 101. Whatever the fish are eating in the water, the fish will react to whatever you're throwing. So match the hatch. Number 3, color. Color really matters. You go to your Bass Pro Shop, you go to your academy, you will see the different assortments and array of color selection that they offered fishermen, whether soft plastic or hard plastic. Color really matters. Now, one of the simple and easiest ways that I know to determine what color I'm using. Now, the brighter the day, the brighter the lure, but also the clear. There's a lot of different variations on using clear lures out there. So it's much easier for the fish to pick up and see some of these lures. Now, the darker the day, the darker the lure, and also the more solid of a color for them to be able to see, for the fish to be able to see and react to your lure and your presentation. But also water clarity. The clearer the water, again, same thing for the sky. The clearer the sky, the clearer the water, the clearer the artificial you can use, the brighter the artificial you can use. Now, there's all different kind of charts you can find online. And the darker the water, the darker the bait you should be using. I would think you'll be able to see, or the fish will be able to see, brighter lures in the darker water. But that's not always the case. Most of my success when it comes to dark water has been with darker lures. And the more you fish, the more you're going to know what colors work for you and what color works for the type of water that you're in or the body of water that you're fishing in. Just a side note, one of the colors that I have most success with trout have been pink and white. And most of the time, yes, the water clarity is pretty good when I fish with these and I hook up. Now, obviously, the clearer the water, the easier it's going to be for you to catch fish, or at least that has been for me in the past. Number 4, technique. Now, there's all different kind of techniques out there, all different ways you can fish any and every lure. Also, you want to keep in mind is covering the water surface. You want to cover the amount of water from the position that you're in as much as possible. So when I throw or I blind cast, I will cover the entire water around me in 20 degrees increments. And then I'll go back and I'll do it again. It's called fan casting. I'll go and fan cast all around me several times with different technique and different cadence. One of the basic techniques of fishing with soft plastic is the straight retrieve. Just simply casting and retrieving the lure back to you. Now, these lures are already designed with their paddle tail to have the movement and have the wobble to attract the fish. Now, you can slow this down or you can speed it up. It's always great to try multiple different retrieves when you're fishing with the straight retrieve method, just to try to figure out what the fish want. You can even add a twitch or two just to give that little jerk to a wounded or dying bait fish. Now, this is a couple of lures that I enjoy using and I like to use using the straight retrieve technique. One is Hoagie's. Hoagie's makes a great lure and a great product out there. I like to use the Hoagie's Super Minnow. Comes in 4 and 5 inches, I believe. I believe this is a 5-inch. Comes in all different colors. I also like to use their Super Jack, something that I recently recently had a lot of success on speckled trout. Another great one is your down south lures. I recently just started giving down south lures a try, and so far so good. They've worked great so far. And again, another lure out there that has great selection for colors. H&H. I've used a lot of H&H lures in the past, and some of the summer months, some of the warmer summer days are coming up. This color combination I've had a lot of luck in the surf with, and this color combination right here I've had a lot of luck with flounders with during the summer months. Second technique I like to talk about is the bounce. You're simply just retrieving the lure and letting it bounce off the bottom. Just little boop, little hops. You can let it bounce, wait 2 or 3 seconds, do it again, wait 2 or 3 seconds, do it again, let it wait 2 or 3 seconds. This technique works great with redfish, especially flounder. With flounder, you want to be a little more patient and let it sit. Now, what a flounder typically does, it will grab onto your lure and it'll hold it in its mouth. Now, you just got to wait. Now, when it does this, you just want to do a little count, anywhere from 15 to 10 to 20 seconds. You feel it thump, 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 just wait a little while. Let him thump a little more, just wait a little while. Wait till he eats his way up till he gets your bait in his mouth and can get that hook. Then you set the hook and you bring him in. A couple lures that I like to use using this technique is your gulps. Now, your gulp swimmy mullets comes in different colors. I like to keep it as chartreuse, pink and white, and also your chicken boy. And I typically would throw white with a pink tail. Chicken on a chain is a good color all the time for any technique, unless you're just getting into that real dark, murky water. Then you just go with a darker lure. Another technique is the fall. Now, with the fall, I have had the most success with trout, with speckled trout. You simply just cast your line out there, let it fall. Reds love it too, don't get me wrong, but trout will smash this all the time. If there's a trout in the area, he won't be able to resist the fall. Cast out, let it fall, reel back, let it fall. And I'm not talking about just bouncing off the bottom, little hops like you do trying to catch the flounder. I mean, bringing it all the way up, letting it fall down, all the way up, letting it fall down, and you just slowly retrieve it the whole way, working the whole different water column from the top all the way down to the bottom, and then again, and then again. And then you may change up this variation. All these techniques, you could change up your variation to see what the fish are biting on. You got to find their pattern. And a lot of times they're very stubborn and they just refuse to bite. And it just one little change and one little thing you do different, and they will latch on, and then you'll have success. Number 5, and one of the most important things you need to know about fishing with soft plastic is confidence. The only way you can build the confidence from using your lures, your soft plastic, is by practice, practice, practice. Just don't be discouraged. Don't be frustrated. Just continue to go out there, throw the lures, and you will build yourself your own arsenal of lures that works for you, your own colors that work for you, your own know-how, your technique, your patterns, and then you'll figure it out and dwindle it down from the big boxes to small boxes that you're taking with you and going out there and fishing with. So remember, be confident, cast a lot, learn a lot, just enjoy yourself. But that's going to do it for me. Those are the 5 basic things that you need to know when it comes to fishing with soft plastic for beginners from a beginner. Jig heads, match to hatch, color, technique, confidence. Thank you all. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to come back, turn that bell notification on. Ruben with Texas All Water Fishing. Until next time, hopefully you catch me hooking up. Bye.